you seriously need to consider putting some smart shades in your home. I know I'm a big smart home guy, but of all of the smart home tech that I've outfitted my home with, I think the shades have been one of the most transformative. Whether in our living room, our baby room, our finished basement, or here in the studio, having HomeKit connected shades has made a huge difference. And I'm going to tell you why in this video as I review the new honeycomb shades from Serena by Lutron. These Serena shades come in multiple different patterns and styles, and everything else I'm going to tell you about it in this video. Welcome everybody to Apple Insider. It is Andrew here, and I am a huge fan of Apple HomeKit. I have reviewed pretty much everything that you can put into your Apple home, and Serena Shades by Lutron are some of my favorite products to recommend. Recently, I've added two new shades to my home. Now, Serena by Lutron comes in a few different styles. You can go with your typical roller shades, which I actively use in my living room. There is the wooden slat versions that have recently been updated to work with Apple HomeKit. And then there's the fairly new honeycomb shades, which come in a standard version and an architectural version. In my case, I picked up two of the architectural versions. These come in a wide variety of different fabrics and colors that you can choose to match your home's aesthetic. We went for this dark blue heathered look that I think works well in both our baby's room and in our currently being remodeled basement. I love the look of them, and they were super easy to install. These shades can be mounted above or on your window frame, or they can be mounted on the inside. In my case, for both of my installs, I mounted them inside of the frame, and they were super easy to do. They took me literally just a few minutes with some basic tools that you probably already have around your house, like a drill. After just a few minutes, I had these installed by myself, including a 6-foot one across a set of double doors that I was able to do all by myself without even requiring a second person. If you don't feel like undertaking the install, there are professional installation options that Lutron offers. Once everything was installed and mounted on the frame, I had to slide in a few batteries. Mine are the battery-powered versions that run off of D batteries, and they can last an incredibly long time. My Serena shades in the living room, that is massive and running on a bunch of D batteries, has lasted almost 3 years, and I haven't had to change them yet. Of course, how often you have to change the batteries would depend on your window size, the weight of the fabric that you're using, and how often you're opening and closing those windows. With the honeycomb shades, they easily open. If you have a smaller size, there'll be two little tabs that you can push to the side and the front of the thing drops down where you can access the batteries hidden within. Larger ones, you may have 3 or so tabs that you'll have to open up, but again, pretty easy to open to access all of those batteries to replace them when you do need to. The shades connect to the Caseta Smart Bridge. So this is Lutron's smart home bridge that connects directly into your router. What's nice about using a bridge rather than connecting to your home's Wi-Fi or anything like that is that it reduces the load on your network. You don't have to add a bunch of new devices to your wireless network. You're not reliant on if that network is available, so if your Wi-Fi ever goes down, your shades will still operate. And you don't have to share any personal information with Lutron. You don't have to share your Wi-Fi credentials or your Wi-Fi network name. The Smart Bridge communicates with all of your Lutron Caseta wireless stuff via its own RF frequency. It creates this frequency and it just creates a mesh network across your home. It's not a typical one like Zigbee or Z-Wave or anything like that. But in my testing, it has been rock solid and has great range. If there are far outskirt parts of your home that a typical bridge will not reach, there are extenders that you can use to make sure your home is blanketed in this really high-performing wireless network. Lutron's Serena shades work with all of the major smart home platforms. You got Samsung SmartThings, you got Amazon's Assistant, Google Assistant, but for me, I'm partial to Apple HomeKit. When it's added to HomeKit, you can control it through the Home app. You can control it with your voice via Siri, or tie it into any other automations or scenes that you want to create. Here's just a few that I use in my home. Every morning I say good morning to Siri, who unlocks the door, turns on the lights, and opens all the shades in the rooms that we're going to be occupying. You can also set it for a good night scene. So when you say good night, Siri locks the door, turns off all the lights in her home, adjusts the thermostat, closes the garage door, and closes the shades as well. Every day when I walk into the studio, I tell Siri that it's a work day. She sets up all of my lights appropriately around my desk and will even open the shades to the proper amount. And when it's time to film, I tell Siri that it's showtime and the shades close can be a perfect filming environment. If you have like the baby room, you can tell Siri it's time for a baby's nap, and the blackout shades will close down, giving you that perfect sleeping environment. Another popular use case is when you come and go. Whenever you leave your house, your shades can automatically close, and as you arrive home, your shades will open up to greet you. It's perfect to allow your dogs to run to the window so they can see you and say hi. And as an added benefit, if you can control them while you're away from your house, you give the appearance that somebody is still at home. So you can adjust the shades regularly on a schedule, anything like that, and it looks like somebody is still in your home if you happen to be out of town on vacation. That way your shades aren't just closed up for several days on end, giving your home that somebody is away look and feel. You don't have to just open or close shades. You can control exactly how much they open or close. So you can open them 50%, 75%, 60, 32%, whatever it may be, and Siri will understand all of these requests. With any smart home connected product, it's always important to have physical controls, and luckily, Lutron has this in spades. See, you can use your smart home stuff and automations to control those shades, but you can also do it using their handy Pico remote. Their Pico remote is a tiny wireless remote that you can just leave free floating on your table or can be mounted to the wall. You tap this little piece of double-sided tape to your wall and you can remove the remote at any time. But when it's mounted to the wall, it's really easy to be able to use to control your shades. It gives you that physical control, whether you have children, guests, or older relatives that may be with you that aren't comfortable using a smart home app or their voice and Siri. So with this, you can open the shades all the way, you can close them all the way, or you can adjust in smaller intervals up and down. There's also this handy button right there in the center. If you go and press that little center button, that's the favorite button. It's set in the Lutron app. And when you press that, it goes to any predefined spot. So in our baby room, there's a specific level that we like it to be at. So we press it and it just opens up to that level. Same thing for the living room, like a good 80% open, similar in the basement and here in the studio. So set your favorite level, it'll automatically adjust just to that. Because these work with Apple HomeKit, you don't just have to use Lutron's Pico remote though. You could use any other smart home control that you have. Heck, you could tie it to a light switch in the room if that light switch works with HomeKit. Whenever you turn on the lights, the shades will open, and when you turn the lights off, the shades will close. You could tie it to a motion sensor, so you walk into a room and the shades open, you leave and it closes. Or you can use other buttons and controls. Here I have the Eve button, right here, this guy. You just press it down, click it, and it can control things. Or we have the Wemo Stage Scene Controller. This here has 3 buttons down it, and you can control something with each of those. This is what I use in my, my bedroom. I hit the top button to open all of the shades in the room, hit the bottom one to close them all, and the middle one to set to a predefined favorite point. That's about 75% open. It's just down a little bit because I'd like to see kind of the color of the shades as they're opened and control how much lights come into the room. It's really handy to be able to use these or any other smart home controls that work with HomeKit that you already have. Serena shades by Lutron have been amazing. They're incredibly high quality, custom built to order with your color and measurements for your home, and they take mere moments to install. And with a larger Serena or with a larger Caseta wireless system from Lutron, you can add all these other accessories, whether it's remotes to control the shades, remotes to control light switches, smart plugs, anything else that you want to add that work with that Lutron Caseta hub. And you have the benefits of HomeKit to control with Siri and through all of your HomePods and other Apple accessories. These have been one of the best investments that I have made in my home, and I think you guys should consider it as well. If you'd like to get a set of Serena shades or several and tie them all together, there's a link down below in the description. Or if you want to expand your Caseta wireless system, maybe just pick up some smart plugs and the wall switches, that's an option too. I have a link for the Smart Bridge Starter Kit also down below in the description. And I want to know, have you guys tried installing smart shades yet? And what's your favorite feature about them? Let me know in the comments or on Twitter at Andrew_OSU, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.